Hey there. Okay, you are at the stage where you've had a few conversations with investors and you need to close the damn deal. This part can be so intimidating and it's totally a mental game. So today we're diving into the critical part of the entrepreneurial journey, closing the deal with investors. So by the end of this episode, I am hoping you will have a clear roadmap to successfully close the deal and to manage the post-funding process, which is super important because that is going to help you get the next round of funding. Let's get into it. Okay, step one, be prepared. I can't say this enough. We talked about being prepared for your investor pitch, but this is another kind of preparation. And being well prepared, I swear it is your ticket to success because investors aren't just evaluating your product or idea. They are evaluating you and they want to see what kind of leader you're going to be and what kind of CEO you're going to be. So they want to see professionalism, organization, a deep understanding of your business. And basically, when you're prepared, you are like earning serious consideration. They will take you more seriously. It boosts their confidence. You're going to stand out. A lot of people are not prepared. I'm not kidding. There's a lot of startups, active angel investors. They are seeing so many different startups and talking to so many founders. And you want to stand out. And an easy way to stand out is to just be super polished and super prepared. Another one is just, when you're prepared, you are going to be that much more polished after they give you the funding, and you're going to continue to earn their respect and possibly be able to get follow-on funding from those same investors. So that's what you want to do. You're really hoping your initial investors are going to participate in future rounds. And the only way to do that is to kind of continue to earn their trust along the way. So again, step one, be super prepared. Think of it, you're not just asking for the money. You are asking them to trust you and having all your legal and entity ducks in a row and your financial projections and reporting and all of that stuff dialed. It is only going to help you. So, you're really asking for their trust in you as well as the money, and it's on you to show them that they can trust you. So super important. Okay, step two, as you're closing the deal, maintain investor excitement. This is super important. It's basically like dating or courting. Emotions play a huge role in these investment decisions. Again, they're probably talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. And it's not just about the numbers, right? So it's about the story, the potential. So as you're continuing to have the conversation with them through, the process, you want to maintain excitement. Oh, we just had a great meeting. You don't want to embellish, but you want to keep the excitement up. I think it's really, really important. It can die down quickly. Like you get them excited at first, and then they can lose interest pretty quickly. So keeping that energy up, circling back with, exciting things you have going on, any new progress. If a new article came out that shows an acquisition in your space that kind of proves, your category or where you're at, you can share that. You just want to kind of keep that excitement up and keep that energy up. And they also want to see that you're super motivated. And when you get this money, you are off to the races. So you want to stay energetic and show them that you are just going for it no matter what. Okay, step three, negotiation. This is where the rubber meets the road. So you want to negotiate, with clarity and with confidence. And I think it's important to be firm but flexible. So again, in the last episode, we talked about deal structure. If you're doing a safe or a convertible note, it eliminates the need to negotiate quite a bit. So again, highly recommend understanding and looking at those two options as the way to structure your deal, because you don't have to negotiate as many terms. It's just a much simpler process. The other thing, I think negotiation, in anything in life, approach it without emotion. It's business. Stay calm and collected as you're having these conversations. Know your limits, like where you're willing to go, how far you're willing to negotiate. But it should be a little bit of a give and take. And you want to look at it again like you're trying to get a win-win. What's a win for you and what's a win for the investor? So don't get too caught up and be too rigid in your certain terms. I mean, unless there's a very strong reason for you to do that, you can, but you just have to be okay with not securing the funding. I've seen it happen for sure. So again, even in negotiation, if you're super prepared, it's going to make that easier. You're going to be more confident, and it'll just go smoother for sure. Okay, step 4 in closing the deal is due diligence. So due diligence is where they are digging into the details of your business. So you've done your pitch, you've talked, answered some questions, and now they're going to go, okay, are they really, is everything they've said for real? Now, depending on how much you're asking for, if you're asking for increments of $10,000, someone's probably not going to do due diligence. They're just going to go, okay, yeah, cool. This sounds great. I'm going to give you the money. If someone's putting in a couple $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, depending on who it is, most likely they're going to want to do due diligence. So they're going to want to look at, money you've put in so far, how has that been spent? Is the progress you're talking about actually, true? Do you have orders from customers? They might want to see those. So again, they're just going to dig a little bit more, and this is normal. And, they might have an assistant or somebody doing this for them. It might not actually be them. But totally normal. You want to respond quickly, respond concisely. And, if they ask you for 10 things, go back with all 10 things. Don't leave stuff out. If you don't have something, just be honest and be like, I don't have this. And this is why it's really important to not embellish during your pitch, because chances are, again, depending on how much money you're asking for, they're going to want to verify everything that you're saying. So you want to, and that's how they're going to maintain respect and earn your trust, is if the story in the beginning matches, the story of the details when you get to the due diligence phase. This is also your chance to prove that your business is not just a good idea, but it's like a solid investment. So if you do have numbers and sales to show and that kind of thing, you can, at this point, present a little more of the detail. Like, again, in that first pitch, you want to keep it high level and exciting. You don't want to throw up information all over them. But at this stage, this is where you give them all the details when they're asking for it. So be sure you have all that information ready. Okay, step 5, closing the deal. So, this is going to depend on what structure you choose. Have an attorney, a specialized attorney who understands startups, review all your paperwork before you close everything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is your business. You want to make sure everything aligns with your goals. Think through everything twice. Once you sign the dotted line and they wire the money, there's no real going back. So make sure these are the right people that you want to partner with. Ask all the questions that you need to ask, and don't consider it a done deal until you have signed paperwork and the money is in the bank. I think it was one of my advisors who had a crazy story where they were been negotiating back and forth forever. They finalized what the terms were. They were literally going to sign the paperwork to get $1 million in the bank from one investor. And the person got in a car accident on the way to the meeting, and they never got the funding. So again, you never know what's going to happen. That's another reason not to put all your eggs in one basket. Something can happen at the last minute. An investor can drop out at the last second. Happens all the time. So there is an advantage to having multiple investors involved, so you're not dependent on that one person. Because at this, it's not a formal fund. This is someone's just writing a check. And if something happens personally, if they're going through something or who knows what, it can fall apart at the last second. So don't consider it a done deal until it's actually in the bank. Okay, step 6, last part, post-closing. So after the deal is closed, highly recommend set up a post-funding meeting with your investors, outline a communication schedule, ask them how they prefer to receive updates. Are you going to update them monthly? If you say you're going to update them monthly. Don't skip a month. That you start to lose trust. So again, going back to whatever you say you're going to do, make sure you do it. And it's good to get their feedback. They might say, oh no, just update me quarterly. That's fine. And they might say, yeah, I'd like a weekly update in the next, couple months, which I don't know, that would be kind of intense. But it's good to talk to them and make sure you understand their expectations and also that they understand your expectations. If you do have a board put together, make sure you have, board dates on the calendar. How are you going to meet? What are the minutes going to look like? You do want to formalize that stuff. It's good practice, and it is good to be able to go back and reference those meetings. So I think it's important. And then, of course, don't forget to celebrate, because it's a huge step to secure your first round of funding. And it is very exciting. And I think sometimes this has happened to me. So much work goes into it that you're just like exhausted, and then you're just like, okay, keep going. But I do believe it is important to stop for a quick second, celebrate, acknowledge the accomplishment that you just secured a big piece of what it takes to make your vision a reality, and then get your ass to work. So in recap, be well prepared, keep excitement alive, negotiate calmly and effectively, handle due diligence, carefully do what you say you're going to do, and follow through, and you will set yourself up for success. That's all for now. If you want to download this whole series, go to seedmoneypodcast.com or look back at the previous episodes, but I hope that's helpful, and we'll see you on the next one.